Welcome back to Random Lisa Lessons. I have no idea what I'm going to call this one, but there'll be a name on it at the end. I really want to talk about a bunch of different things on this one today. I do coaching calls every week, typically a handful of calls. It could be about relationships, marriage. It could be about, not that I'm equipped to talk about that, okay? People think I am, and so I do my best to try to encourage people. I do my best to be a cheerleader of people. And whether you need cheerleading and stopping your addictive behavior, whether you need cheerleading because you're at your wit's end in your marriage, whether you need cheerleading because you just don't know how to get back on the wagon, I want to be a cheerleader of you. And most of you are here because you have had a long-standing, not great relationship with food. And even deeper than that, as we have found, you have a not great relationship with yourself. And even deeper than that, we find that it's multiple areas of our lives that we need to work on, not just the food, not just the weight, not just the addictive behaviors, but the internal loathing, your thoughts, the repetitive addictive behavior tendencies, depression, for many of us. And I point the finger back at myself. I definitely have had my bouts with depression. And I don't even know that I've never been really diagnosed with that or anything or taken medication necessarily for that. But I'm just going to say, I did try medication before, but I'm just going to say that I understand all of it. I have now spoken to, I don't know, a lot of people, maybe even thousands, certainly hundreds and hundreds over the past 5 years. And we are all very much very similar when it comes to issues with food. And it starts with really your mind. And even though I said I don't know which direction this Lisa lesson is going, my goal is just to inspire you to action. My goal is to inspire you to stop and take a look at yourself, to get some real goals. My last Lisa lesson was about purpose, to find some direction and dig in and find something that shakes you up. When I was 53 and 317 pounds and I could barely walk across the floor, I could barely step off a sidewalk, though I knew that the end for me would end up being a wheelchair, a cane, I knew that I was headed into a very bad direction in life and unhappy, very unhappy in my career, in my marriage and relationships. I had toxic friendships. I spent way too much time on OPP. That means other people's problems, listening to people go on and on about their problems. Then I talked on and on about my problems. I mean, it really wasn't a positive, mentally healthy place to be. I have worked very hard over the past 5 years, and I'm so much happier and so much healthier, so much healthier. And that journey, and you all followed it now, some of you for 5 years, that journey has helped inspire other people to make change. And today, really, my intention was to talk to you. It's April, and summer is coming. Then the fall will be here. Then 2025 will roll around. And are you still going to be mentally in the same place? I was reading something recently about our thoughts, and that even long after you've learned to bite your tongue, I've learned that. I'm learning that. I work on that a lot. I have really been through a season of quiet, a season of, since leaving, for the most part, social media and quitting doing all the lives and all of that, and started learning a new career in fashion and modeling and acting. I've had to learn to listen. I've had to be quiet and observe. And I know a lot of you guys have been great listeners here, and I've done my best to share my journey, to study, to put hours and hours of time in learning how to change behavior you don't like. But this thing I was reading says long after you're able to bite your tongue, you're able to learn how to be quiet and how to listen more, your thoughts still take over. We do battle the mind. You're not really battling the chips. You're not battling the chocolate. You're not battling the pasta. You're not battling what your husband wants to eat. You're not battling the nuts. You're not battling the fried chicken. You're not battling the lack of planning. You're not battling whether you work out or not. You're not battling any of that. You're battling your mind. And all the things that I've taught for 4 years, 5 years, have been to help you, help equip you and me too, help equip us to better battle our mind. Because at the end of the day, your thoughts come before your actions. And not only do your thoughts come before your actions, your thoughts drive your actions. So if you're not able to stop the repetitive thoughts of, I need to lose the weight, I need to do better, I want to do better, I want to lose 10 pounds, and I do it too. I am no different than you. But I do realize that we are in a constant battle of our mind. And I think that it is the war on this earth that we might have. And, some people might battle alcohol. Some people might battle feeling like the thoughts of feeling like they're not enough. Some people may battle the thoughts, the repetitive thoughts to go eat more. And it has never been in my intention in all the equipping that I've done with talking about waiting for hunger, talking about the benefits of fasting, talking about the importance of getting in movement every day. I mean, all of those are done and said in hopes and in order to equip you to be able to change your thoughts about how you live and be able to create a next version of you that you feel better in that new body you're creating and in that new mind. But I want to make it clear here that whether there is a such thing as a food addiction, and whether there is, and maybe there is, whether or not obesity is a disease, like, is now all the rage and all the articles you read, just Google, is obesity a disease? And you will be blown away by what's out there. And it is a disease in the fact of it is that it puts you in dis-ease. None of us feel as good when we have extra weight as we do when we are able to lose a few pounds, or when we're able to have that 3 or 4 days of eating the right amount for our body and not eating too many processed foods. And it gives you a whole new lease on life. And when you grab that, you have to keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Your thoughts to you're going to fall off the wagon, or you're not good enough, or oh my God, you ate that cookie, now you got to eat the whole bag, or just buy it this one time. I mean, I could go on and on, the things I've felt myself and the things I've heard. But I am here to tell you that if you want your future to be different, it starts with today. It starts with what you do today. And the best that I've seen in helping now thousands of people, it's tracking your food, it's paying attention to hunger, it's getting in some movement, it's getting outside, it's being positive, and it's understanding that you are not your choices every day. You are a gift from God. You're a beacon of light. You're this whole person. And one of my mentors says, your who is not your do. Who you are is not what you do. I've said so many times on different posts when people, like, I'm fat. No, you have fat. We all have fat, okay? You have toenails. You're not a toenail. You have hair. You're not hair. You have a liver. You're not a liver. And you have fat. You are not fat. To separate yourself from what you have is who you are. That's like saying you're less of a person because you don't have a lot of money in the bank, or you're less of a person because your husband is an alcoholic, or you're less of a person because you struggle with, a carb addiction or overeating or whatever it is. I'm here to tell you that your thoughts will wreck you. And the only way to change, and that's me too, is the only way to change is to change your thoughts. The only way to do that is anytime a thought comes that is negative against what you see for yourself, to be able to say, that's not true. That's not true. I am a healthy person. I am a thin person. I am a lean person. I am a person who enjoys exercise. I am a person who enjoys eating healthy food. I am a person who enjoys, positive motivation and learning and growing and movement and, journaling and reflection and taking accountability. I mean, that's who you are because you enjoy all of those things. Is there anybody listening to this that don't enjoy all those things? A walk in nature, taking time to sit down with your journal and put down some thoughts, or maybe at the end of the day, all the healthy habits. In the video library is the Healthy Habits Initiative, okay? And all of those things are still very pertinent today. But your thoughts are things, and if you don't take control of your thoughts, we are in a battle for our mind and our thoughts. It feels like it's the chocolate. It feels like it's the pasta. It feels like it's the compulsive overeating. It feels like it's the I'm not good enough. It feels like I'm such a failure, but it's not any of those things. It's just your thoughts, because most of those things are not true. The problem is we've just let our thoughts guide us, and we've listened to ourselves instead of talking to yourself. And I implore you over the next 30, 60, 90 days to make an ironclad habit of talking to yourself, not listening to yourself. This is so important, and it's so important to make a list. Make a list today, right now. Make a list of all the things that you are going to say to yourself. How are you going to talk to yourself? I can tell you I have big trips coming up this summer. A trip to Jamaica, a trip on a sailboat to Maine with 20 people I don't know. And that's coming up in just a couple of months. And, I have to talk to myself about those things. It's way out of my comfort zone. Even doing television or HSN or commercials or modeling, even doing what I'm doing right here. I have had to talk to myself and say, you can do that. That is an opportunity, a door that opened. You're supposed to go through that door, and you have to be able to do that. The door is opened for you and well. Whether you saw me online or you found me on Weight Watchers or you stumbled on my website or somebody referred you, no matter how you found me, you knew that something, the essence of who I was and the message that I shared, that you resonated with that resonated with you. And I ask you not to wait another day. Don't wait another day listening and to yourself and all the negative. Take hold of it. So let's talk about how we do that, okay? Make a list of all the ways you're going to talk to yourself, all the things you're going to say to yourself. I can do this. It's really not about food. It's really about my thoughts. I am bigger than a cookie. I am bigger than pasta. I absolutely have time to plan. I can absolutely get in a 10 or 15 or 20 or 30-minute walk at least once or twice a day. I have broken up now my exercise into, the dogs are older now and they don't want to walk an hour and a half anymore, which is fine. And so I've broken up my exercise into 3 or 4 smaller ones through the day, one in the morning, one at lunch, maybe one in the afternoon, and one after dinner. I do different things. I'm constantly adding 10, 15, 20 minutes of something different on a daily basis. And those are the ways that I talk to myself, because I know I'm in a season of change. I am in a season of change, and I feel that for you as well. You're coming up on a season of change. And you can determine how that goes. Maybe it is a whammy that you're going to get faced with. Well, you can determine how that goes. Does that make you more of a planner? Does it make you want to eat more fruits? Does it make you want to eat more salads and more vegetables and more soups and more healthy food? Or is that season of change just going to give you more excuses and giving into that battle of the mind, more of you can't do this, you can't do this, you're addicted, you got an emotional eating problem, you can't help yourself, you've always been this way, you're 60 now, why change? I mean, I understand what your brain throws at you. I'm telling you, the next 30, 60, 90 days, give it something different. Start talking to yourself. Start telling yourself how this is going to go. I am going to wait till fast until 11. I am not going to eat anything after 7. I am not going to eat over 25 grams of sugar. I am going to prioritize the fiber and the protein. I am going to make my dessert be fruits, not chocolate, not pastry, not cookies, not nuts. I'm going to have a sweet tooth, and that sweet tooth is going to include some sweets if I've got to have it. Those are the ways that we talk to ourselves. We have to talk to ourselves. And like I said earlier when I first started, that, the way that you've been talking to yourself is the reason why maybe you're stuck. And my goal is for you not to be stuck. That's it. My goal is for you to look back and celebrate how far you've come. I think about it all the time. I could consider myself stuck. I too could do that. But I think about how I used to eat potatoes and mac and cheese and bread and fried chicken, and how I used to eat so heavy, and I would have a heavy breakfast, a heavy lunch, a heavy dinner, and I'd snack all in between, and I'd eat a bag of Hershey Kisses. And I'm like, wow, now I might have a half of a Pop-Tart, right? Now I eat bell pepper and hummus for lunch. You've come a long way, baby. And if you've been around here 4 years, you've learned all the things. You've learned the healthy habits. You have the knowledge. And let the next 30, 60, 90 days into summer be a new season for you to dig deep into the library and deep into all of those things that you've learned, and grab a hold of all of those things. I'm here for you to have a new season, and that new season be a season of happiness and joy, and getting control of everything that you put in your mouth, and how you think, and how you move your body, and how you plan, and how your sense of purpose continues to grow. You have what it takes, and the start is the battle of the mind. It's getting your thoughts right. I hope you found this one healthy and helpful, and I'll see you on the next one.